Don't you love the smell of a corporate takeover right after legacy brand portfolios experience cycles of weakness? So, in an attempt to not make decoding that introductory statement or question an endurance event, how about I run right towards the relevant financial news? On April 16th of 2025, the board of directors of Science and Sport released a statement that confirmed it had received a possible takeover offer from the private equity firm BD Capital. Moreover, it noted that discussions were at an advanced stage, but there could be no certainty that a firm offer with acceptable terms would be made. But then, about 24 hours after the takeover interest emerged, the legacy sports nutrition brand portfolio announced that it reached an agreement on the terms of an all-cash acquisition by BD Capital. Though before disclosing those financial details, maybe it would be beneficial to take a step back, ensuring everyone has baseline knowledge of Science and Sport. The UK-based portfolio includes the namesake brand Science and Sport, which was founded 33 years ago, and another sports nutrition brand, PhD Nutrition, which was acquired in November of 2018. In terms of target market and product strategy, Science and Sport, the brand, has established itself as a global leader within the endurance nutrition market and trusted by professional athletes and sports teams, offering a core product range that spans the energy, hydration, and recovery categories within diverse formats from gels to ready-to-mix powders to ready-to-eat bars. Then PhD Nutrition was founded 2 decades ago, targeting the active lifestyle community and offering a similarly diverse product range, but primarily focusing on the high protein, low sugar line extension called PhD Smart. But while these are still 2 highly regarded supplement brands, the relentless pursuit of top-line growth during primarily the Great Shutdown era and a little bit after that led to some poor historic strategic decisions and an inflated operating structure. So in the latter portion of 2023, Science and Sport established a new leadership team, performed a full business review, and reset strategic focus towards a model of controlled growth at the same time as delivering sustainable cash generative profitability at improved margins from a reduced cost base. And while these tough strategic decisions provided a more stable platform for future growth, and Science and Sport saw both operational and financial performance improvements, revenue did decline 17.5% year over year to around $69 million in 2024. But before I analyze further layers of Science and Sport commercial strategy, let's circle back to the financial details surrounding the M&A transaction. So based on the Science and Sport Group closing share price on April 15th, the takeover offer by BD Capital represented a 24% premium, valuing the company at about $109 million. Now, did BD Capital overpay for Science and Sport? Though revenue and EBITDA multiples are a bit wonky, I'd suggest judging the purchase price beyond a set of financial metrics. Firstly, Science and Sport isn't the typical supplement company found everywhere within the US market that deploys an asset-light business model and essentially is a marketing company. In fact, 3 years ago, Science and Sport invested close to $10 million in a state-of-the-art 160,000 square foot consolidated manufacturing and logistics hub. Next, the private equity firm had closely followed Science and Sport for several years and believed the declining revenue period presented an opportunity to acquire 2 strongly positioned sports nutrition brands. And since Science and Sport is within the early stage of a strategic reset, BD Capital likely established enough confidence in early turnaround indicators that, along with its operator-led investment model, sector-specific expertise to support the development of the business, and access to additional capital, could unlock growth potential over a reasonable timeframe. And before you Google it, the BD Capital portfolio includes a UK-based gut health supplement company and a more than a century-old Netherlands-based consumer healthcare company specializing in food supplements. But then, how does BD Capital plan to unlock this next phase of Science and Sport growth potential? The initial step would be to address the bifurcating performance as of late within the brand portfolio. And there could be a multitude of interconnected reasons for this bifurcation, but on several occasions over the last almost 3 years, You might remember that I've detailed how more people participating in the most popular forms of exercise, aka walking, running, and cycling, has become a net positive tailwind for the endurance market niche of the supplement industry. Yes, Science and Sport, the brand, is the official endurance nutrition supplier to hundreds of professional teams globally, but it has arguably benefited greatly from targeting the weekend warrior beginner endurance athlete. And honestly, just think how much more Science and Sport, the brand, could take advantage of these converging underlying demand drivers if it just leaned into storytelling more prominently. I mean, the type of content strategies spanning mind and body that's available within endurance activities is mind-boggling, but maybe that's asking too much of a legacy supplement brand, because I'd settle for an average social media presence at this point. Alternatively, while I don't have updated leadership commentary, my assumption is that interrupted trade in the Chinese market continues to be the primary headwind causing weaker PhD nutrition comparative results. Yet, geographical expansion across both portfolio brands is said to be a primary strategic focus under BD Capital ownership. And for reference, the UK, its home market, represents slightly over half of the Science and Sport total group revenue. PhD Nutrition is one of the largest sports nutrition brand manufacturers and market leader overall within the lean whey and plant-based protein powder categories on UK retail shelves. Similarly, Science and Sport, the brand, is still the clear market leader in endurance nutrition within UK retailers. Though a bright spot internationally has been the digital channel within the US market, as Science and Sport, the brand, formed an exclusive partnership with the #1 endurance nutrition e-commerce website, which now handles operations and fulfillment to both direct-to-consumer and online marketplaces. And speaking of sales channels, despite an almost balanced offline and online mix, another primary strategic focus under new ownership will be expanding the omnichannel footprint that enables the Science and Sport group to address the full breadth of today's sports nutrition market. Yet, BD Capital will be tasked to achieve this initiative with the consideration that many commercial relationships were recently reset, ensuring strategic alignment with the objective of delivering mutually beneficial, profitable growth and improved margins. But I just wanted to end with some quick final thoughts. I'm fully aware that this corporate takeover isn't the largest, but at just over the 9 figures market, arguably represents a more typical exit event size, especially for a legacy sports nutrition brand portfolio that doesn't generate the bulk of its sales activity from functional foods and or functional beverages. Unfortunately, at least in this regard, a collection of recent billion or multi-billion dollar M&A transactions that involved brands that were incubated within the supplement industry has started to wrongfully set an expectation of what success looks like. So while those M&A transactions should be applauded, don't miss other categorical learning opportunities like this one by only obsessing over the outliers. But I hope you enjoyed the first principles thinking that went into my latest YouTube video. If you did, can you do me a favor by hitting that like button? That quick and free action helps YouTube know my content is worth spreading to more people. Also, we're getting really close to reaching my next subscriber goal, and it would be great if you join me on this journey. But to do that, we need to fix the fact that slightly more than 3/4 of you that are watching this video right now are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, and that hurts my feelings. Regardless, I want to thank you for giving me some of your attention and time, and I'll see you on the next one.